In this video, I'll be breaking down the memorial song that Kodak Black wrote about X, and some interesting things I found within it. Let's go. We know that Kodak Black and X have a history together, as they are both Florida rappers, came up around the same time, and have a song together, Roll in Peace. But what more is there to it all? Well, putting their extensive history behind us, here's a clip of X talking to Kodak Black and shedding him positivity and giving him insight into his own life in order to keep him out of trouble and help him evolve and help keep him on his path to evolution. Check it out.
Like you already know what it is, bro. You got a demon running around you, fam. And then, bro, it's not funny, fam, because a nigga wants you to be safe, fam.
Yeah.
You in control of what's going on around you, bro. It hurts, fam. It hurts.
Clearly, X is telling him to pay attention to things that are going on in his life. And this back and forth conversation between them really sheds light into their own friendship between the two. But the song that I mentioned, what about that? Well, the song that Kodak Black wrote about X is called Falling Over, and it was dropped on June 18th, 2021. The song begins with, "Come alive, Jase, because I need an angel. I know you didn't know that you can die like this. You can die rich and famous. You can die rich and famous." Obviously, here Kodak Black is looking at the situation and observing that X has passed away, and he wants X to come into his life and help him because there's situations in Kodak Black's life that are hurting him, and he needs an angel there, and X is an angel per se as he's passed on to the next life. And he wants the angel X to come and help him. In essence, he just needs some help in his life, and he feels like X would be that caregiver to be able to provide him that help. As we saw in the clip before, X was always one to be there for his friends. Potentially here, Kodak Black may be wanting X to come back into his life and help him with the situation that he's going through. "I know you didn't know that you can die like this, you can die rich and famous," I believe is preluding to the fact that X died on the way to his top of the rap game. X died rich and famous. He had the rich, he had the fame, he had a big house that he bought, and he had a record deal that he did sign previously before his death. At the beginning, when you're on your come up, you don't believe you can do things like this. But once you actually attain it, you always have that thought that it will happen, but the full belief that it will actually come into light may seem a little astounding to even yourself. So here Kodak Black bringing it up and saying that, "Hey, I know you didn't know that you could do this. You did do it." Shows that again, and it's like, hey, I know what you struggled through on your come up, and I know how difficult it is to go through all the turbulations of life. But you did it, you made it. I know you feel like you do in time, my friend, and we are locked in cages. Here Kodak Black is talking about the fact that in society today, if we break laws, we'll get put behind bars. But even outside of being put behind bars, we are put in a cage of what we can say and what we can do. I'm not saying to go wreak violence, I'm not saying to go make havoc. I'm just saying there are just socially acceptable things that you can say and socially acceptable things that you can do. Nothing wrong with that fact, but some of these things being very, very minuscule, being put at such a high scale. To go to school, get a college degree, and then get a job and get a 30-year mortgage. Now I understand why you should do that, to get that house and get that money and have that stable job. But even outside of that whole mindset, you're locking yourself in that cage into that belief system and believing that's the only possible way to do it. When there are other ways to do it, we see people do it other ways all the time, but yet we don't have that belief. Because there's the variable aspect. There's so much going on in all of these senses that we lock ourselves in these cages and we fully stop trying on our own dreams, even though everything begins with a dream. When we were children, we had these dreams that we believed that we wanted to be astronauts, we wanted to be race car drivers, we wanted to go dig up dinosaurs. What happened to all those? Yes, you want to pay your rent too, but what if you can pay your rent and also pursue that vocation? That's where the beauty starts to begin in life, because you actually start to see that you are happy in the morning risings. And you have that time freedom and that location freedom. This isn't no Mangazzi stuff. I'm just saying that belief system that you lock yourself into believing something when there are so many more venues that you can do. And I'm not here to tell you exactly what venue you should take, but there are so many other venues that you can take in your own life. Other vocations and other jobs that you can get. But let's get right back into it. I hate when you can even read your rights these days, feeling like kept and laid up. Come alive because I need an angel. Here Kodak Black is addressing how he personally feels that the criminal system in the States is a little messed up. After his own set of criminal cases, he may be feeling like he's been underrepresented, and there's been different miscalculations through his own trials, through his own life. And I know X also felt this through his own life, as he was really prominent about his own criminal cases and the way that he stood on those. Who are you to criticize? Why are we always judging? Why we always gotta fuss and fight? Can we all do more loving? Here Kodak Black is bringing light to what X was preaching, about judging everything and being negative in all these aspects, when there are so many more positives that we can look at in life. Life is just one observatory experience. You are observing everything around you. And when you go around judging everything around you, you judge it in the own aspect that you want. Now, if you want to put a blue lens in front of you, you will see the world in a blue color. If you want to put a red lens in front of you, you will see life in red colors. Now, it's up to you how you want to view these situations, and X was preaching this too.
To take a second to sit down to thoroughly observe your patterns. Do you move when you don't want to move? Do you get angry when you don't want to get angry? You have to fix these things about yourself. You have to give a fuck about yourself, and that makes life so much better. Like, I'm learning to do it now, and it makes life 10 times better. It makes you feel better. It makes you more tolerable.
If you want to view things in a negative aspect and get angry over a little piece of traffic, then you're going to get angry over very minuscule stuff that doesn't really mean too much in the long term. We always judge, we always fuss, we always fight, we always find a way to criticize. Look at YouTube comments. Everybody always is first to point out the wrong thing instead of congratulating anyone. It's always the negative that comes first and the positive that comes last, when it should be the other way around. We've been brainwashed as a society to believe that this negative thing that we push is the right way to do it, that we should be looking down upon everybody else. All the news articles just point out the negatives, and we always talk about negatives with our friends and our family. Now, there's no quick way change for any of this. It's just a viewpoint to keep in your mind, that we love to put this negative out there. For some reason, we get turned on by this negative. And this is what Kodak Black brings up here. Like, who are you to criticize? Why are you always judging? Why you gotta fuss and fight? Can you do more loving? It's like there's so much more that you can do, but you're limiting yourself by the way that you're thinking in this life. Tell you that I almost died. Remember when I almost died? For real, I almost died. Now, this song is a more melodic song, and if you do take a listen to it, you'll see that these are more sung out instead of the way that I said it. But here we see Kodak Black talking about how he went through a situation where he felt like he almost died, and X was there for him in that situation and to help him get through it. And this is the part that I find really interesting right here, where Kodak Black says, "And I took that sacrifice, saw you took your sacrifice, this dog has been sacrificed. Know you looking over, jaw rest, God rest." Now, this is strange because we as an X community have been looking at X and always analyzing, was he sacrificed in any sense? Here in this Kodak Black lyric, Kodak Black says, "I took that sacrifice." Kodak Black acknowledges that I took something in my own life to get me to where I am, that catapult up into the rap game. That he took something in order to get him there. And then he says, "Saw you took your sacrifice." Now, there are different things that this could mean. This could, one, mean that X sacrificed his own time to get his music done and his music to the place where it was. But it could also mean that he took some deal in order to get him where he was, and some sacrifice on his own end, his life per se, in order to get him to where he was. This dog has been sacrificed. It's further acknowledging that this dog, X, as we call our friend dogs, bros, mans, was sacrificed in order to get himself to where he was. But saw you took your sacrifice, very, very interesting wording there, because we use that word when we analyze him, and that's something that has to be further analyzed, because saw you took your sacrifice, that's kind of strange to say. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And I took that sacrifice, saw you took your sacrifice. What do you think this means? But then after this, he goes into, "I know you're looking over and over and over. Yeah, I was counting on us, darling, darling." Now here, he may be talking about something else. By using the word darling, I don't think he would use the word darling about X. So this right here might be talking about a different situation. And the previous comment that I mentioned also may be alluding to this situation. Hey, fighting for my powers these days. I'm just trying to keep conscious, baby. You gonna walk me to my coffin, baby. Here again, he's talking about someone walking him when his time comes to an end and helping him through this life. He wants to stay conscious, he wants to stay aware and be good in situations that may be harmful to him, to stay out of trouble, to stay in line with the positives of life. And yes, this can be alluded to the teachings that X taught him, but it can also be alluded to other things in his life, such as a past relationship or a past loved one in his life that he looked up to. And then at the ending, to close out the song, he once again goes, "Come alive on Freud, aren't you missing something? Why are we always judging? Can we do more loving? It don't matter if you black or white, my friend. Can we not be so racist? And it don't matter if you're gay or not, my friend. Can we not be so hateful? It don't matter if you're rich or poor. Why the police use excessive force." I believe this is alluding to the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as when police were using excessive force on civilians, and just assessing the whole situation that people are different and things are gonna happen. But the difference between black and white, why do we have to be racist about this? And the difference between liking the same gender and liking a different gender, why does it matter so much? And why do we have to be so hateful about somebody else's opinion? And we should only be mattering about our own opinion and generating the best overall viewpoint on our own opinion, because that's the only thing we can really do in this life. You have the power to get yourself up right now. You have the power to move your left hand, the power would move your right hand. But you're gonna sit there and you're gonna try to tell other people what to do instead of changing your own mind. Bro, you're in charge of your own life. You are in charge of changing what you want to do in this life. If you want to get up and go for a run right now, you can make yourself go for a run. But if you want to make your friend go for a run, you can't run that run for them. You got to take care of yourself. That's what he's saying right here. You got to take care of yourself, purify yourself, and work on yourself. There's something missing, and that's yourself. Everything comes from within. Now, this song is pretty melodic. If you listen to it, you'll see it's pretty sad. And you'll see there's a lot of memorialized towards X throughout this song. But the one thing that I'd like to say is that Kodak Black was definitely influenced by the teachings of X and everything that he went through. And if you're interested into what the teachings of X are, I made a full video outlining it in this video right here. And I really break it down in easy and understandable formats. So check it out. Love you. Take care.